As the hours draw closer to Barcelona's next fixture, there is a palpable sense of anticipation surrounding Fati's potential return to the squad. His time at Barcelona's youth academy, La Masia, is still fresh in the minds of fans who watched him emerge as one of the most promising talents in recent years. From his early days as a teenage prodigy to his breakthrough performances in the senior team, Fati was quickly heralded as the next big thing for both Barcelona and Spanish football. His rapid rise through the ranks was filled with moments of brilliance, including his iconic debut season, where he became the youngest player in Barcelona's history to score in La Liga. However, the journey to the top has not been without its obstacles. After breaking into the first team, Fati's meteoric rise was interrupted by a series of injuries, the most devastating being his knee problems. These injuries hampered his ability to maintain a consistent presence in the squad, and he found himself sidelined for lengthy periods. What followed was a period of frustration as Fati worked tirelessly to regain his fitness and his form, but despite his efforts, he found himself struggling to live up to the immense expectations placed on him. After a mixed experience in England with Brighton, where he had hoped to gain more playing time and develop his game, Fati returned to Barcelona with a renewed sense of determination. While his loan spell wasn't a failure per se, it was evident that he hadn't quite adapted to the Premier League's demanding style of play. He struggled with consistency and, like many young players, lacked the experience to influence games on a regular basis at such a high level. His return to Barcelona marked a new chapter in his career, one where he would need to prove himself once again in a fiercely competitive squad. Upon his return, Fati was immediately thrust into a Barcelona squad that was undergoing its own transformation. The team was transitioning under the guidance of Hansi, a manager who had already made his mark with German football and now sought to bring his winning mentality to the Spanish giants. Flick's appointment brought a fresh tactical approach to Barcelona, emphasizing a more direct and disciplined style of play, one that required players to not only be technically gifted but also versatile and adaptable. For Fati, this meant finding a way to fit into a more structured setup while maintaining his natural flair and creativity. His ability to break into the first team was made more difficult by the competition from established stars like Lewandowski, who had proven his worth as a world-class striker, and young talents like Vitor Roque, who was already impressing in Barcelona's setup. Additionally, the ever-present presence of players such as Dembélé, Torres, and the now-departed Rafinha only added to the growing challenge of securing a spot in the lineup. With Barcelona aiming to rebuild under their new coach, Fati's patience and resilience would be tested. The start of the 2024 season saw Fati struggle to find his rhythm. His appearances were mainly limited to substitute roles, and while his contributions from the bench were occasionally important, they were not enough to earn him a permanent starting spot. Barcelona, as a club in transition, needed players who could produce results consistently, and with a packed fixture list, every player had to prove their worth. Fati's frustration was understandable, but he remained focused on the task at hand. During his limited minutes, there were flashes of the old Ansu Fati, his quick feet, his ability to dribble past defenders with ease, and his instinct to find the back of the net. However, without the sustained game time he craved, it was difficult for him to showcase his full potential. Then came the setback: Fati's muscle injury in late November. For a player who had already faced numerous injury issues in the past, this was another tough blow. His body, which had been working to recover from previous knee injuries, was once again under strain. Barcelona fans feared that this injury would further delay his recovery process and hinder his ability to reassert himself in the squad. The club's medical team worked tirelessly with Fati, ensuring that he received the proper rehabilitation to get back to full fitness. Days turned into weeks, and Fati continued to watch from the sidelines, frustrated but determined not to give up. Finally, this week, the long-awaited news came. Barcelona announced that Ansu Fati had returned to full training. The club's social media shared images of the smiling winger, looking lean and fit, his trademark confidence and determination back in full view. Fans across the globe reacted with excitement, eager to see their young star return to the pitch. This news couldn't have come at a better time for both Fati and Barcelona. With the team set to face Atletico de Madrid, one of the most formidable opponents in La Liga, the return of Fati could not be more crucial. The timing of Fati's comeback presents a unique opportunity for him. The match against Atletico de Madrid is one that Barcelona must win if they are to maintain their position at the top of the La Liga table. Atletico, known for their well-organized defense and counter-attacking prowess, will be no easy task. In such a high-pressure game, having someone like Fati, who can make a difference with his pace and creativity, could be just what Barcelona needs. Flick will have to decide whether to bring him into the fold immediately or ease him back into match fitness through a cameo role. Either way, Fati's presence will add depth to Barcelona's attacking options and offer a different dimension to their play. What remains to be seen is whether Fati can handle the pressure of living up to the high expectations that come with playing for Barcelona. The club's fans have long been waiting for their young star to fulfill his potential, and now, with his return to fitness, Fati has the chance to prove that he can be a key player for Barcelona in the months to come. His journey has been one of setbacks, injuries, and doubts, but his return represents a new chapter. The potential for a comeback story is there, but it will depend on Fati's consistency, his ability to seize his opportunities, and his determination to stay fit. For Barcelona, the hope is that Fati can rediscover his best form and once again become one of the club's most influential players. The competition for attacking spots in the team is fierce, but Fati's talent has never been in question. If he can regain his sharpness, develop an understanding with his teammates, and adapt to the tactical changes under Flick, there is no doubt that Fati can once again become a central figure in Barcelona's attack. As the season progresses, Fati will be closely watched. His development as a player, the challenges he faces in re-establishing himself in Barcelona's star-studded squad, and his ability to recover from injury will be key factors in determining how successful this season will be for both him and the team. But one thing is clear, Ansu Fati's story at Barcelona is far from over. His return to the pitch is just the beginning of a new chapter, and whether he can overcome the challenges and fulfill his potential remains one of the most exciting storylines in Spanish football. That's the end of the video. If you liked the video, please make sure to subscribe the channel for more upcoming videos.